And some high expectations for this Iowa team. Monica Saniya, who was the running partner for Caitlin Clark, coming back using her final year of eligibility because this Iowa team wanted to do something special. Both of these teams have something in common. They have both lost to UConn this year. Iowa also falling at Kansas State just after an overtime win against Drake. And here's Saniya. Led the country in field goal percentage a couple of years in a row. Clark, who we assume will see a lot of different defenders, does something she's really good at. That's drawing fouls and getting to the line.
Whether it's Caitlin Clark or Monica Saniya inside, and we have to be able to recover quickly.
9 times a game, Iowa out to the quick 2-0 lead. This is only the 4th time these two teams have met. The first time it has not been on a neutral site. Jada Boyd, one of the experienced players you talked about in the open with the miss. Here's Saniya quickly getting it up to Clark. Talk to Clark and shoot around today. She's a little stuffy, a little congestion going on, but she's ready to go. Warnock with the miss. Kate Martin, after the Saniya pass, wasn't able to bring it home. And now Diamond Johnson, who was so terrific coming off the bench last year, now in the starting role.
She was that spark off the bench for Westmore a year ago. Could have been a starter probably at any time, but now in that role and is embracing that role.
Leading the team in those 3 categories.
You think about those 4 starters, and it was remarkable to see that it was only 50% of their offense, right? Had a lot of players come off the bench. They gave production. Diamond Johnson, one of them. Jada Boyd, another.
Yes, it was surprising. I honestly thought it would be more like 75 or 80%, but that does show and speak to the depth of this team and how much Johnson, who was the 2nd leading scorer last year, contributed off the bench. Jakia Brown-Turner is a good perimeter defender, but Caitlin Clark just shook her off like she was dust. Madison Hayes patiently sitting on the bench last year with so much talent ahead of her, now in the starting lineup. Clark, all she needs is about a millimeter of space.
You know, oftentimes you think about great scorers and it's either catch and shoot or it's off the bounce, and she can be both.
And you see the numbers, they actually go up when she plays against top 10 teams.
Seen Caitlin Clark get to the rim already more so and more consistently than in the past, and that keeps her defense honest.
I agree. She seems to be going off the bounce a lot more. River Baldwin, the Florida State, thought about pulling the trigger. Bounce pass to O'Grady, who draws contact. Here's O'Grady at the line.
Caitlin Clark outscoring NC State, 1 for 8 from the floor for the Wolfpack. Really struggling to get something going offensively, and that's going to be the challenge for this team. We mentioned in the open, you shoot to the top of everybody's scouting report. You're no longer a complimentary player.
Transfer. Warnock was left open, didn't look at the hoop. Davis with the miss. Warnock, kind of, you know, Swiss Army knife kind of players.
She is definitely a utility player, can play multiple positions, do multiple things for this Iowa team. I mean, she's a player who, whatever is needed at any moment.
UConn at the Joyce Center. And remember, you can donate the V Foundation for Cancer Research at v.org/donate. Some great basketball continuing to come your way. And there's a fresh, not gotten a shot off, does have 5 rebounds. Saniya and Clark combining for half of Iowa's scoring, and that is another.
So aggressive. She's aggressive to the board. She's aggressive to the rim. There you see her rim running.
Diamond Johnson quiets the crowd just for a second. They've sold a lot of season tickets. And another Clark to Stokey.
Will make you pay every time.
Well, Clark gets a little bit of a break, so that puts Molly Davis at the point. The giveaway results in
3 of 7 from the floor against Connecticut.
More Jordy, Stephanie White joining you from Iowa City. This is the ACC Big Ten Challenge. Iowa leading 17-13, but they got off to the 9-1 start. Caitlin with all 9 points, but since then, NC State with a nice run, hit 5 of their last 8 to close out the first quarter and get close. The headline here is Monica Czinano not only hasn't scored, but hasn't taken a shot.
Position, and you can see her and River Baldwin really going at it inside.
Baldwin called for the foul. This was a concern for Lisa Bluter, stopping NC State in transition. And they like to hit threes. Gets on the score sheet. And it's a 3-point ball game. Caitlin Clark makes it a 5-point ball game.
Curry comparison in the open, but like Steph Curry, she never stops moving. And that's a sign of a great offensive player. You never stop moving. You continue to find open areas.
Johnson open for 3. Gets some space, now guarded by Hobby, who sets the screen for Clark. Step back 3, no good. And the smallest player on the floor, Johnson, gets the rebound. Rivers running. Not cheap. Rivers committed the foul. And the last play. Now Iowa's starting to give the ball away. Johnson inside to Collins. That was...
It's the demonstrative arm coming down, probably what the official saw. But
NC State, her third school, started at Tennessee, then a couple years at Maryland. First lead of the game for the Pack. NC State, as Lisa Bluter has a conversation with Caitlin Clark. Warnock in Portland, double figures against both Oregon State and UConn. Warnock. Clark with the pick.
And she's showing there good anticipation. I mean, that's the thing about Caitlin Clark for the next level. It is getting better, more consistent on the defensive end of the floor. And that time knew exactly what was coming, got in the passing lane.
Many of the fans here, Carver Hawkeye, on their feet. They sit down.
But NC State now doing a much better job of attacking and then kicking for those threes. They're getting a foot in the paint, forcing a little bit of a rotation, and then getting a 3 after that.
But with 18, Czinano battling Hobby for the rebound. Camille Hobby is kind of an you know, she could do the pull-up, she could fade away, she could blow right by you.
I mean, look, she's going to get her points. The challenge and the goal is always to make it just as difficult.
Notre Dame scoring, but they lost a heartbreaker to Maryland tonight. Diamond Miller with an absolute dagger to end the game for the Terps. And out of the timeout.
Great job of establishing her position.
All that banging, and then she draws the offensive foul on the drive. Here's Clark. Davis forces the turnover. Marshall's going to wait for help. Boy, Czinano and Baldwin.
That is a tough matchup to officiate right there, because both players, I mean, I like the level of physicality inside, but that is a tough position to officiate.
About 18 minutes in. Hobby now in to play the post. Rivers nailed it.
Really good. That was great poise, execution against the zone. Get the ball in the high post and work from there.
Clark with another fadeaway.
It's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous.
I mean, you know kind of what she's going to do, and nobody can stop it. And she's so consistent. Hobby with the nice look. And Clark has it taken away by Rivers. NC State has made 6, making a huge impact so far today. Clark slows things down, trying to use as much clock as possible. Coach Bluter says go. They clear out for Caitlin.
For her, get her in the pick and roll with Caitlin Clark. force the defense to help, give her some space, because NC State has done an outstanding job of being physical with her down low.
And right off the bat, Jakia Brown-Turner takes it
In the first half. So establishing her early in this second half and her attacking the rim is good for NC State.
It's a lead back up to 6. And right away, that had to be a concerted moving into the starting lineup this year. 6th player of the year in the league last season. Hobby draws the double. Got it into the middle, and that's a really nice play.
And Kate Martin coming off that 20 points, 6 of 6 from the three-point line against Connecticut.
Stolke, who had 6 points in the first half, comes back in. Look at Warnock. Coming in, this is the biggest lead of the night, 7 points for the Pack. And then Hobby took it away as they tried to get it in to Czinano.
I mean, you cannot say enough about Camille Hobby and River Baldwin's effort on the interior. And what a catch by Jada Boyd in transition. That was not an easy catch, and she made it look easy.
So we're 3 minutes into this quarter, and Caitlin Clark 15 points off turnovers now for Westmore's team. Here's Sister Marcia as well, and also Katie Abrahamson Henderson, Coach A.
That's right.
Down at
Coach
Georgia.
A, yeah.
So Washington High and Cedar Rapids doing some things. Really good women's basketball players coming out of that, becoming coaches. And Stolke is next in line. The Iowa High School Player of the Year last year, stayed home to play her college ball. Trying to send Iowa to its 3rd loss already. And here we are, just the 1st of December.
Well, in each of those losses, Iowa has had a poor quarter where they have been heavily outscored. Against Kansas State in the 4th quarter.
Second trip, she's 2 for 2 so far. And another giveaway. Johnson to Brown-Turner, beautiful.
Diamond Johnson has done a really good job of managing this game. When they needed her early, she attacked. Mixing it up. Early, Iowa getting a lot of easy looks, and NC State about midway through that first quarter turned it up on the defensive end, and it changed the momentum of the ball game.
We talked to Lisa Bluter after shoot-around this morning. You asked her, what's your...
When Connecticut made their run.
Under 4 minutes to go now in the 3rd. Taken away, Czinano. Davis in the game. Transfer from Central Michigan. That's definitely a foul. 3 assists from hitting the 25-5 rebound in that category. And Brown keeps trying to will Iowa back into the game, needing some defense. Hobby working on Czinano and finishes with her offhand. That's a tough pass. And Czinano, good defense. Rivers with room. Gabby Marshall still hasn't scored. That Iowa has faced all year. Lost to UConn by 10, which was their biggest lead. Clark taking matters into her own hands.
She still continued to take bad shots. Long threes to score, and so now she's not making shots, but she's getting to the free throw line.
Her career, she has had a 30-point game. River Baldwin, short, Czinano, board. Czinano, good position this time against Baldwin. Had to work hard to get that shot off.
Looks like she shuffled that pivot foot a little bit, but she is known for that step through, but that was a tough finish.
Yeah, she looked like she was totally cut off. Brown-Turner for the Florida State transfer. Foul out on the ESPN app. Diamond Johnson at the free throw line. This half does have 6 rebounds and 3 assists. First-year starter who began her career at Rutgers. Minute to go in the third quarter. Warnock, finally. She had missed her first 3 from out there. Rivers, good look, great result.
You mentioned the depth chart in South Carolina, but has come in and has embraced this spark role coming off the bench for Westmore.
Shot clock is off for Caitlin Clark. Warnock. Defensive substitution. Stolke will come in. Warnock knocks it down. It's all of them from the free throw line for Clark, who has 30 points tonight. Second time this season she's hit it. But NC State has done a good job defensively as Kate gets her quarter. Pam Ward and Stephanie White joining you from Iowa City, where the fans time and time again have been trying to get their team to clamp down on defense.
Each time this league gets inside of 10, this crowd comes alive, and NC State has had the answer.
Johnson guarded by Marshall. Good perimeter defender for Iowa. Shot clock really skinny. The extra pass. Rivers. What a game! Nia Rivers is crushing her previous career high in points, which had been only 9. She has doubled that. JBT in the lane. The fans wanted a 3-second call. Instead, they got a miss. Clark from the logo. Caitlin Clark with her signature move, but they can't stop Johnson on the other end.
Well, you better be careful. There might be another one coming right here.
Here she goes.
You can see it when she's got the ball in her hands and the look in her eye. Run up, rhythm 3.
Four-point game. 6-point game, Johnson. Brown-Turner around Kate Martin, too strong, but River Baldwin cleans up. Marshall passed up the 3. Martin, finally. Johnson, answer every time.
I don't think you can go underneath that double screen with Diamond Johnson. She lives for these moments, as does Caitlin.
Caitlin with 43. Most by a Division I player so far this year. Just 3 off her career high, but once again, Diamond. Madison Hayes back in for the Pack. Hobby, little spin move. Hello, Camille Hobby. Ten-point advantage. Warnock. Boyd Mismatch there with Sanano. Shot clock into single digits. Boyd gets it back. Top shot! Clark gets it over to Warnock. Sanano continuing to have a long night, but that's King of Beauty. Star that assist for Warnock. Inside 4 to go. Diamond Johnson driving on Davis. Since the second quarter began, they're shooting 66% from Westmore's team. Answers every time.
And they're spreading the wealth. They got 28 points from the bench. Everybody's getting involved.
And you mentioned Diamond Johnson. She now has 20 points for the game. That Johnson didn't work the first time for Boyd. Warnock dribbling into the teeth of the defense.
Foul line of attacking the paint, but again, you go back to NC State and just their ability to have an answer. She's taken over scoring when she has needed to, and she has made the right pass at the right time.
Marshall tried to force the turnover. Johnson, short, rebound, Johnson, follows it, got it!
Well, you got to give NC State a ton of credit right here. I mean, what they've been able to do in terms of their execution on the defensive end and offensively as well.
This is a tough place to play. Great crowd. In fact, the crowd tonight, this place is going to go crazy. Hometown girl, Ashley Jones. This is the last year for Jones, who did come back to use her final year of eligibility for the Cyclones. Minute to go. Nice move by Warnock to get. Diamond Johnson at 22 and almost 70% again since the end of the first quarter. Very impressive for the Pack.
Rolls. Saniya Rivers has been special today, and the leadership of Diamond Johnson has been terrific.
And it is a rarity. A quiet. Clark gets another bucket. She'll have a new career high. That one ticks off the glass. Warnock chases her down. We'll hear from the studio shortly as Brown-Turner. Rivers playing to the last whistle. What a pickup.
Double-figure score for NC State.
Good defense on Sanano as well. She and River Baldwin combining to frustrate Sanano. Second straight game now.
And the combination of Camille Hobby and River Baldwin, the Hawkeyes are going to have to find a way to get her back on track.
The NC State Wolfpack going to go to 9-1 on the season. The Hawks drop to 5-3. Caitlin Clark, 45 points. Just one off her career high, but not enough. NC State shredding this Iowa defense with 94 points. They take it 94-81. Rivers and Johnson each with 22 points.